One of the topics that always comes up in blog posts and in Facebook group is how to take care of your batteries. In today's video, I will give you my recipe on how to take care of your batteries. Hello and welcome to LegalDrone, where we talk about drones and other tech stuff. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Before I continue, I just want to tell you that always follow your manufacturer's specifications for the care of your batteries. So in here you see that I have the batteries of my drone. I own a Mavic Air 2, so the battery that comes with the drone is the intelligent battery. So this battery discharges from time to time to preserve the life and to keep the battery safe. So this drone battery is a 3-cell lithium ion battery, and lithium ion battery is basically the industry standard right now for rechargeable batteries, but not all rechargeable lithium ion batteries are created equal. My drone has a lithium ion battery as well as a Tesla car, but those two batteries are completely different in terms of capabilities. Now, the chemistry behind the batteries is roughly the same, so you will have a charge, a transfer of electrons from one side to the other, and that's how you move electricity from one place to another. So like I said, this battery is a 3-cell battery, so it's a multi-cell battery that is connected in series. So you have the voltage from each cell and you get the total voltage of the battery. The specifications for these batteries is that you can have a 34-minute flight with a single charge. I personally haven't experienced a 34-minute flight with these batteries, and manufacturers often oversell their batteries. And I'm not saying that DJI did that, but you have to keep in mind that batteries work differently depending on the environment they are working on. So the first thing that you need to know is that batteries should be stored in non-reactive environments. Lithium ion batteries are dangerous, and if something goes wrong, you can even have fires from these batteries. So one of the first things that I recommend is getting one of these LipoSafe bags. These LipoSafe bags will keep your batteries isolated, and if something goes wrong, it won't catch fire because it limits the amount of oxygen that gets into the bag. And by limiting the amount of oxygen, you reduce the chance of catching a fire. So if you want to get one of these bags, I'm going to put a link in the description so you can get one or two. Another thing is that you should never use a swollen battery. Right now I don't have a swollen battery, so I cannot show you how it looks, but normally you will see that if you put it on a tabletop, it starts to wiggle. So there you see that the battery is swollen. This often happens when the battery reaction is not 100% efficient, so you start having side products on the reaction, and some of these side products are in the gaseous state, and because these batteries are sealed, there's no way for that gas to escape, so the battery will expand its volume because the volume of the contents in the battery is growing. So the thing is that there's no exact science of what causes a battery to swollen, but like I said before, the battery reaction will depend on the environment that the battery is in. So sometimes high temperatures will cause the reaction to generate side products. So you have to keep in mind that. Another thing is that most people think that these lithium ion batteries have the phenomenon that is called battery memory. But most studies suggest that with lithium ion batteries, you don't have battery memory effect. So you don't have to discharge the battery down to zero in order to add another charge, because you won't have that effect on the battery memory like you would have in cadmium batteries. So in cadmium batteries, you will see that the metal that is on the that is reacting in the battery will change its form. And if you don't discharge it completely, so you will start having parts of the metal that are not the same. So the charge will not be completed as if the battery was new. And that is why you see that now a whole charge will give you less amount of energy from time to time. But with lithium ion batteries, that effect doesn't happen, and most studies suggest that it's true, it doesn't happen. Another thing that I do is that I number my batteries. So if you see here, I don't know if you can see it, but this battery has the number 1, and one has number 2, one has number 3, and one has number 4. So I use my batteries in series, so number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So I give these batteries the same amount of cycles of charge and discharge. That way, my batteries age at the same pace. With these DJI drones, one good thing is that the DJI Fly app have the cycle count for each battery. So every time you turn on your drone and go to the app, you will see how many charges or how many cycles that particular battery has gone through. In that way, you can also monitor which batteries have more cycles than others, and you can give some of these batteries a rest so you have all of them in the uniform. Another thing is that you need to store these batteries indoors, and every manufacturer has its own specifications on the temperatures or the temperature range that you need to keep your batteries. And I suggest that you always keep your batteries at those temperatures because, like I said before, you will start having these side products if you don't store the batteries at those temperatures. And one thing that you shouldn't do is to leave your drone or your batteries in your car. Temperatures in your car can rise rapidly and into dangerous levels, and you can even have one of these batteries explode. Another thing is that charging cycles will cause stress in your battery, and you have to keep in mind that if you start giving your battery charging cycles, charge discharge, you will start losing performance in your batteries because the more you charge it and discharge, it will create stress that will reduce the performance of your battery. So another thing is that you don't need to charge your battery up to 100%. You don't need to drain the battery down to 0 to store your battery. Sometimes a good range is like 60% to store your batteries. And if you're not going to use your drone, don't charge your batteries. I have seen people that even though they haven't used their drones in months, they have been given their batteries, those cycles of charge and discharge. So they are stressing the batteries, but they are not using the drone. So it gonna comes down to a moment that your batteries are going to lose a lot of their performance, but you haven't even used your drone. What I normally do is that I after I use the drone, I charge the batteries back and let them, store them and let the intelligent battery do the work. So after a few days, the battery will go down to 60%, which is a perfectly good percentage of charge to store your batteries. So, and finally, theoretically, batteries are designed or theoretically designed to last forever, but that doesn't happen in the real world. So in the real world, you don't have theoretical conditions, and eventually your batteries will die. And the best thing to do is do everything that it's possible to keep them from dying. So, if you follow these recommendations, your batteries will probably last longer than if you don't follow them. So, that's everything for today. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe, And if you want to see my drone law videos, you can click in the box here. If you want to see my remote ID series, you can click in the box here. So thanks again and see you next time.